Gracious, good day. I am Jann Arden. Welcome to the Jann Arden podcast. You may see, if you're watching on YouTube, there's a blank black screen where Sarah Burke is usually smiling at us from her Toronto home. Caitlin Green is in her Toronto home. I am back from my worldwide whirlwind traveling. I am actually in my own kitchen, as you can see, as per the background. But anyway, yeah, we're here and there's lots of stuff going on. Caitlin, there's lots of stuff going on. Sarah is going to speak to us. Caitlin, perhaps I will let you interview Sarah to let the people know what is why Sarah isn't on the screen and this a foreboding message to all of you people out there about a certain something that has been going around for many, many decades that is awful. So go ahead, Caitlin. Take it away.
Sarah, do you have the Black Plague? Is that why your square is black? Did you kiss a rat? What's going on here? Why are you...
Caitlin actually pointed this out while we were on the phone this morning, which I hadn't even thought of. But remember last week I was wearing my sunglasses and I was like, oh, my sinuses.
Yeah.
So at that time, I didn't know what was wrong. But over a week ago, I had like a really bad sneezing, crazy allergy day. I thought nothing of it. A day and a half later, a pain emerged over my left eye. And like a very pointed pain, like super annoying pain. I thought I was fine. I had no other sinus things going on. I thought maybe a sinus infection. It lingered around, went to a walk-in clinic last Thursday, just in case. They gave me, a nasal rinse protocol and said, if that doesn't make it go away in 3 days, then go on these antibiotics, which I was obviously trying to avoid. And yeah, so it got a little bit worse every day. And by Saturday, I had started the antibiotics and my eye was like really swelling up, and like the pain, it's not like the headache pain. It was like neural pain.
Yeah.
Like my nerves were on fire. So I went to Emerge reluctantly because no one likes admitting they need to go to Emerge.
Or waiting and Emerge.
Yeah. Oh my God, you should have seen the bag I packed. I didn't know how long I was going to be there. I'm like, I need to have this cold cloth. I need to have snacks. I need to have everything with me.
Aww.
Anyway, yeah, so in Emerge, it's actually quite serious what I have. It's shingles. But because it involves
Jesus.
the eye, they sent me to a hospital that has like ophthalmology. So I was able to see an eye doctor, which was just like, it's Toronto Western that had this. And I was also telling Caitlin, I didn't know this, but like I by chance stumbled on a link for a virtual emergency appointment. They have that in Ontario. Do they have that in Alberta?
They perhaps do. I don't know. But go ahead. Yeah. Let's hope they do.
Yeah. So I basically like got on this virtual call, and a nurse talks to you before the doctor comes on. And the nurse was like, I'm not even letting you see the doctor, go to Emerge. And I was like, okay. So that's what sort of informed how I was going to deal with this. And yeah, I've been on like some crazy neural pain medication as well as the antiviral. And I was quite nauseous, so they gave me something for that as well. And
you want Zofran?
I don't know what it's called.
Ondansetron is the generic name of the best.
One is like Naxaprin.
Naproxen.
That's the one.
Yeah.
And I'm on a GABA something. Hey.
Gabapentin?
Yeah, I'm on that one. That's the pain one for the neural pain.
My dog was on gabapentin, but just carry on.
That's so cute. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, whatever the antiviral is for. Okay. So anyway, all that to say, like, guys, today's the first day that I feel okay. Like I'm definitely wearing sunglasses in my pajamas right now, in my home, like Hollywood. But yeah, I feel.
People say it's worse than childbirth. People that I've talked to that have had shingles said it is the worst thing that has ever befallen them. And I'm like, what? Like there is a vaccine. Yeah. And so Sarah's dilemma has prompted me. I'm going to try and go Friday. We are recording this on a Tuesday, and I've got lots of traveling coming up. It's a 2-parter on the vaccine for shingles. So I have to get one shot, which is covered by Alberta Healthcare, by the way. and then you wait 2 weeks and get the second shot. So
Mm.
I might do my COVID shot at the same time and my flu shot, and they tell me I can do all of it at the same time and still be standing.
Okay.
Yeah. But don't do it Friday. You have a live show.
No, not Friday. Did I say Friday?
You did. I was like,
Well,
I'm
I'll
coming
do
with
I'll do
ya.
it. You know what? I'll do it Friday on the show.
Yeah, do it on stage.
It'll be part of our on-stage antics, and maybe someone from the audience can give me the jab. I don't know. We haven't thought it through yet. It seems like a weird contest, so let me think about it some more. But yeah, anyway, I'm in the next week. I'm going to be getting all those shots. So thank you, Sarah, for this warning of.
Yeah,
You
they
know,
say if you're
it's
over 50, you should have the vaccine. Not that our Jan is over 50. I'm just kidding. But
Well, not that you are either. I mean, it is something to
you're not
consider.
over
Like,
50.
no,
yeah,
but they say that like most people will have shingles before they're 50, which also gives you an immunity boost for it. So then you would have the vaccine after that.
yeah.
Okay.
So have you ever had it? Either of you? No?
No,
No. So many people
Wow.
I know have had it. Like Kyle had it. The crazy thing is Kyle had it when he was in university, really, really young.
that's nuts.
And it was so painful. Like the nerve pain was so severe.
Yeah.
And then I had multiple family members have shingles after they had COVID. I think there was
Oh.
a strain of COVID that was going around kind of like during the summer, midpoint through the pandemic. And they all got it. They all got COVID. And then a bunch of them got
Oh.
shingles afterwards, which was terrible. And then a lot of my my in-laws friends have had it, and one of my in-laws friends, actually my mother-in-law's closest girlfriend, had shingles, and because of the proximity to your eye and your ear, like you're right, Sarah, those are two of the spots they really worry about, and it went to her inner ear and gave her Bell's palsy on one side of her face. Because it's so like obviously it's nerve pain, it's nerve damage, so it really is no joke. And it, at least in the like my experiences of knowing people who've had it, the recovery process really is contingent upon resting and taking care of yourself. Like it's not like a linear necessarily recovery. It's nothing to scoff at. I know some people who've had like weird nerve things recently. Like my husband had meningitis when he was a kid. A close friend of mine
Oh
also just
God, he's lucky to be alive.
I know. And it's funny because he's kind of a hypochondriac. And for a long time, you know, we sort of joked about it. And then we were in therapy together after we lost Sam. And it wasn't like couples
Yeah.
therapy because we were having issues. We were just in therapy together talking about stuff. And his hypochondria stuff came up. And as we were talking about it, I was like, do you think it could be related to the fact that you had meningitis when you were a kid? And he's like, I don't think so. And I was like, but what about your shingles when you were in your 20s? And our therapist was like, hold on now. She's like, I think that's probably why you had a spinal tap when you were like 8. I think that's probably why you're a hypochondriac. So yeah, he's had some stuff. And these things are like nerve stuff is, oh man, people listening right now for sure know someone or have had shingles themselves. And it's rough.
Well, I'm not a hypochondriac. I think I have a pretty healthy take on my wellness. I kind of stay on top of things. I'm not a person that puts things off. But I also think, you know, as a young person, I had lots of heart things as a teenager.
Yeah.
And when you kind of have big things, like the little things don't seem like I don't get colds that often. As you know, I didn't get COVID.
Mm-hmm.
And people are like, oh, you might have, you just don't know it. I didn't get COVID. I got everything checked. I never had it. And I thought I did when I canceled the Christmas shows last year in December, and I didn't have it. He's like, you have a chest cold, you have bronchitis. And I'm like, God, this feels so terrible. I thought for sure it was, but I look after myself for the most part. I could absolutely do better. I think I still need to work on my sleep a little bit, but as you get older, sleep patterns absolutely change. You don't sleep as much. You can't sleep in. You wake up at 4 a.m. and you're like, I guess I'll just have tea and vacuum because I'm not going back to bed.
Yeah, that's
right?
that's the point of life my dad's at right now, where he's
Is
like,
it?
okay, I guess I'm up. I guess my day starts at 4 a.m. now. And it just sort of like there's no, anyways, luckily he's an early riser. He goes to the gym. That's his like MO when he wakes up.
So how are you doing sleeping?
I'm good. I actually have become better in recent years than I was, I think, before we had Will, which is strange. I think I'm so tired at the end of the day from running around and I'm so energetically depleted. I
Yes.
just collapse in bed. And also because of my years doing morning radio, I can nap. Like I'm an expert napper. At 1 p.m., no matter where I am, if I had the ability, I would go down for about 30 to 40 minutes. Yeah. And I would snuggle up and I would feel great. But yeah, it's been, we had sleep issues before, we had some insomnia before, and now I just don't really have it in the same way. And maybe it is, I think it'll change. I mean, we've had a sleep expert on our show, and she was the one who did sleep training for my son. And she has a lot of, she has a lot of media and public appearances and stuff. And she's actually got a podcast on the Women in Media Podcast Network. Why am I not
Yes.
plugging this? Oh my gosh, Alana McGinn.
Yeah.
And she does a whole thing about the changes you go through, especially as a woman, around menopause and how that can shift your sleep because it's so closely tied to your hormone shift.
Yeah.
I'm like not looking forward to the menopause sleep disturbances.
Well, I think it really varies from person to person. We're certainly not going to get into menopause because that will be like 10 months of discussions about what can happen to women. I think it's being far more recognized, though, by the medical community. I think family doctors, and it's just being recognized more as an actual thing that is a real setback to women. Sleep, energy, your sexuality. There's just so many things. Your skin, healing injuries. Obviously mood. So there's a whole stuff. Melissa Grello, by the way, here's a little plug for her podcast. She does a whole thing on menopause. And I think she's also going to be offering at some point, you'll have to check on her website, Melissa Grello, Grelo. She's one of the hosts of The Social. She's, I think, going to be doing some like retreat type stuff. I feel like it's in Italy. I'm not kidding you. I think it's something really special that she's working on.
Aging Powerfully with Melissa Grello. Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty cool what she's doing because, she just was addressing it so much herself. And then there's a whole other set of stuff, which is anxiety, low-grade depression, drinking in menopause is a real issue and what that does. So if you're in that boat, anyway, there's lots of resources out there. But as far as looking after myself, I'm doing pretty good. 63, I feel like my energy is really good, and I knock on wood. I'm knocking on bamboo. I don't know if that counts.
It does count.
Okay. And I feel really grateful, but I work out. I just came up from the gym. I do like 45 minutes of different cardio, whether it's a rowing machine or my bike or the tread climber that I hate. I'm doing more stretching. I need to get into yoga. Are you a yoga person?
I am, and I'm more Pilates than yoga. I like both. Pilates is a little bit more physically challenging for me when I've done it, but you will laugh. I was in Ottawa this weekend visiting some friends, my husband and I and Will, and my girlfriend is trying to get into shape, and she's got a personal trainer. So she said, "Do you want to come to a fitness class with me on Saturday morning?" So I said, okay, not in character for me to go away for the weekend and fit in the gym, but here we are. I went and I had to leave the class. I had to leave.
What happened?
It was a hot HIIT class. So it was a high intensity interval training, which is where they make the room very hot on purpose so that everyone sweats. And the idea, it started with hot yoga. It was supposed to help your muscles stretch. Anyways, I'm on medication. That means I can't exercise in high temperatures. I didn't know it was a hot class. I thought I was going to faceplant on the floor. Jan, I was working out so hard. I was working out so hard in this class, dripping sweat. I was the color of an eggplant. I had to leave. I thought I was going to barf. I left after I made it through 40 minutes. The class was an hour. I left.
Good.
It was good considering what I was doing. If you saw the woman leading this class, Jan, I swear to you, she was like a Viking Amazon woman. She was beautiful. She had like white blonde hair, naturally tanned skin, and she was built like a professional athlete. She was probably like 6 feet tall, and she was just stunning. But when I saw her walk into the class and start leading us, I was like, I'm screwed because this woman and I are on very different planes of fitness.
This is a whole thing, these hot things, like the hot yoga. I've never heard of hot cardio and hitting. Like every bell in my body goes off. Like, is that not the danger zone? You don't want to overheat yourself. Like, I'm really mindful, even going into my hot tub, which is 102 degrees. I leave it there all year long. Because it's a hot tub.
Yeah.
And I can do half an hour of not moving. Like, I'm not moving my legs. I'm not, doing cardio. I can't imagine being in there and going and up and down and let's move. I am still. And I'm like trying to get my upper body up out of the water so I can stay in longer to cool myself down. I know for a fact I couldn't do that.
Yeah,
I
I
could not
couldn't.
do your hot hit.
I
So
couldn't do it.
what did you do to cool down? Like you must have been so thirsty.
Oh yeah, I drank a ton of water. I sat outside on like what I called the shame bench because it was obviously for people who like leave the classes. So I sat there at the shame bench,
Okay.
and I texted a photo of myself to like a couple of my group chats who I had told I was doing this, and they were like, "Who are you going away for the weekend and then going to a fitness class?" And I was like, "Here's how it went, guys," and they all like co-signed that they've heard people recently say that they're on various medications, and basically the medication I'm on means that I don't cool myself down as well. So I sweat really easy. I break out into sweats really easily.
Caitlin,
I'm
are
an
you
idiot.
nuts?
But I didn't know it was hot. I thought I was going into a regular
But you
temperature
should have
room.
got there, seen what it was, and left and went and got a latte and a croissant.
Okay, well, here's the thing. It wasn't hot when I got in the room. It gets hot as you're there. So I didn't walk in and hit like a wall of heat. So anyways, I am still sore today. I am hobbling around today. This was Saturday. I went to my restorative Pilates class yesterday, which is more low movement. It's supposed to help you with like alignment and, give you better posture. It's not like a HIIT class. And I told our instructor what I had done because she knows me. And she was like, "You're dumb. Why did you do this?"
I went to a Bikram yoga class once. And
Okay.
like I've been doing hot yoga for 20 years. Like I can do it in my
Okay.
sleep.
Yeah.
And I had to do the shame sit.
Thank you. Okay.
It was too much. It was too much. And they like explain to you that it's like disrespectful if you leave. Like these ones are like so intense.
Oh,
you know?
shut up.
I
Disrespectful.
truly shut up.
Come on.
They're like asking me to get up, and I'm lying there being like, I don't think I can get up. Like it's too hot in here. The temperature.
I'm
was way
blaming
too hot.
them for your shingles. I'm blaming those people for your shingles.
That was like 10 years ago.
It was
so we
big
can't
Okay,
Canada.
really-
still, it's possible.
Yeah. So where did
Well, no, I can't do hot anything. This is what's
No.
happening. And I know it's been a while. What are we in? We're at 17 minutes and 49 seconds, and I haven't spoken about my Icelandic girlfriend yet.
Do
so
it.
I think it's time. So when I'm in Iceland, it's really fun. Culturally, there's lots of things that are very similar and the same, but there's some things that are just unbelievably bizarre.
Okay.
So we've been going out 5 months, believe it or not. We've been going out like 5 months.
Wow.
And so Thordis will just say, like, I thought we'd do this and this, and you can get some of your work done. Because we both work. Like, I do work some stuff when I'm there, and she works on her stuff. And she's like, why don't we like go at 5 o'clock to, well, we can pick one of the hot pools. This wasn't out in a field. Like, you guys know that I've been out in like sheep, fucking stone pools where sheep are dunked, but now they're using it for people. And you're wandering around a field wondering, where the fuck am I going for $30? Like, what is this?
Yeah.
But this is just, there's like 10 Reykjavik city pools that are a combination of Russia, Finland, and the Berlin Wall after the wall. They kind of look very
like brutalist.
like you go in and you think you're going to see a woman there, very large woman with a whistle and a stick, like telling you what pool you can go in.
Okay.
But anyway, you get in your stuff, and the dressing rooms are really open, and women are in there. It's just very free. Like, people aren't locking up their shit in their purses, and it's not that vibe. It's just like, yeah, there's my stuff there. I'll just leave it there. Anyway,
my breasts.
you go into all these different hot pools. She goes, do you want to just go to the hot pool? And you don't do anything. There's just lots of hairy men and women in all shapes and sizes. And some of these pools are like 18 inches deep, and you lay down and your head's kind of on the edge. You lay there. You kind of maybe talk, you maybe not talk. And, I'm just looking around going, this is what we're doing. She goes, do you want to go try the 40-degree pool? I'm like, okay. I don't last long. The reason I bring this up is because there are these hot pools.
Oh,
and
yes.
a lot of times it's like salt water. Sometimes they truck the thermal water in from some station, and it comes in and it's saline, and it's really good for your skin. So we're doing this like 3 or 4 times in a week that I'm there. And I said, do you actually do this? She goes, yeah.
This is
Like,
my dream.
People go to the hot pools. There's no one's jumping or fucking making stuff or running around or diving everyone is lying there just in the hot water. And we stay about 75 minutes, and she's like, are you good? I'm like, yeah, I'm good. She goes, let's go get some food.
Well, your
Like,
skin
it's
is glowing. I mean, maybe it's the hot pools.
But it's just, that's what you do, is you go into these hot pools. And I have never been in a bathing suit so much. So something has happened to me. I am just so in a bathing suit, wandering around in a bikini, no less. I bought 2 of them in London. I went to this bra shop that Nigel took me to. He says, "Do you want to go to that bra shop where the queen shops for
Oh my
bras?"
God.
So we went there before we went to Buckingham Palace.
As you do.
And we go in there and it's so beautiful. And you know, I bought 2 bikinis and they're
Go,
really nice.
Jann.
So, well, the thing of it is, I'm just like, why didn't I do this 20 years ago? And it's not that I'm really hung up about my body or stuff like that, but I'm just like wandering around. Here I am. So it feels good, and my life feels I'm really evolving. I feel like I'm actually learning about being a person. I don't want to get too esoteric here, but I'm learning about being myself.
That's
And
great.
I thought I was myself. But it's an ongoing, ever turning, ever reaching, not static process.
Mm-hmm.
And that has been a surprise to me.
I think that's really nice because it just sort of lets everyone, I guess, listening know that, like, if there's things that you feel like you want to work on or unhappy with, it's never too late to do something new, to try something new, and to be in a new space and go, oh, I actually have learned that I really, really like this, and this really works for me. A thing that I never would have imagined myself doing is very fulfilling in the following ways. And I just think it's great. I love change. I think change is always kind of good, in my opinion. And sort of like movement begets movement, you know, doing something new means you try other new things, and it just like opens up the world a little bit.
Yeah.
And they say that
Well,
that's the type of relationship that will always be the most fulfilling. It's someone who
Yes.
helps you evolve as a person as they evolve, right? Like the beauty in that. And that's really, like, in the past when I've known, like, oh, this person is not going to push me to evolve to my best self,
Yeah.
right?
Right?
Yeah. I love
Yeah.
this for you, Jann.
there's an easiness
Oh, she's
that
glowing
is
for sure.
there's
It's the
just an
hot springs.
easiness that, and a pace to which I have not experienced for quite some time. You know, that slowness, and maybe you guys have
Yes.
both been in periods in your life. Maybe you can speak to that, where you don't know how fast you're going
Until you get
until
the shingles. Yeah.
you get the shingles.
Until you get the old shingles.
But
No.
yeah, I would imagine, like, even maybe Belle, because your mornings were so early, Caitlin, and
Oh yeah.
you were juggling the baby and all this stuff, and then you're kind of like, no, I'm the universe is slowing me down. What do I
Oh,
do
for
with
sure.
that?
Yeah, and it's different, right? You're like, okay, I didn't think I would like to be slowed down against my will. I didn't think I would like to be sort of forced into this situation. And then you imagine going back and you're like, I can't do that anymore. Like, this part of it is actually quite nice. And I did notice that too when I got together with Kyle, that there was just sort of like this ease, and things that I thought were important to me in relationships, I was like, that's not actually that important. Things I didn't think I valued, I found out I valued a lot and really worked well for me. So I love the slowness. I think that is something that isn't really talked about as much. The hustle culture has really taken over so many parts of our lives. And only recently am I hearing more and more people in the mental health space, and, you know, podcasters and actors, actresses, whoever is in the public eye, say, like, actually resting and slowing down and being with someone who's energetically at that point is really nice and will probably make you have glowing skin. And I don't know, I feel sometimes like when I'm with certain people, I'm like, this type of person's going to extend my life. Like, this person is so calming for me, and I need that I think if I'm around people like this, I'm going to live longer.
Friendships
Well,
like that for sure,
For
too,
sure.
right?
mhm.
Yeah. When
Well, go ahead, Sarah. Go ahead.
no, that's it. I was just gonna say friends.
No, but you're right that the effects that people have on us, you really start realizing, not only mentally, you know, just having a friend that really lifts you up, and you leave
Mhm.
like a coffee and you're like, oh my God, that was such an interaction that I needed, because I just needed that positivity.
Mhm.
Um, months and months ago, my doctor, Rohan, he just had me, if you're watching on YouTube, I have this band here, and it is called a Halo. It's Halo. I am
Yeah.
not sponsored by Halo. It is a blood pressure band.
Okay.
I don't have high blood pressure. I don't have hypertension, but he said, let's track you. He said, it's $350. It's a little bit pricey. I know
Mhm.
that. So it's just like, I made that choice to get it for myself. There's an app, and it takes 160 measurements in a day. It's
Oh.
infrared, so the technology is different. It's not the cuff that you blow up. And when I'm around Thordis, my blood pressure is so much lower than it is in my normal life away from her.
Oh my God, it's love.
And call it what you will. It's what your how your brain works and everything else.
Yep.
But she and I were talking about it last week because I had read an article that was kind of along those lines, and I had said to her, when I'm with you, my blood pressure's lower. And she was just like, really? I'm like, yeah. She goes, well, we're regulating each other.
Yeah.
We're like regulating our immune systems. And she goes, that's just how it works. So, when you're with someone in a relationship that is difficult and it's a lot of contention and there's lots of issues and drama, you feel it. You know,
do.
you're up here.
You do.
And anyway, it just was kind of cute that when I've taken my readings, when I'm at home, I'm around 129 over 74, which is not bad. 127 over, 75, kind of in there. I waver. I'm sort of 75% in the target rate that I should be in. When I'm with Thordis, when I spend a week with her, I'm at 119 over 69. I'm at 121 over 72. Like, it's just bizarre. Anyway, that's my cute little story about blood pressure. And I'm mystified by it a little bit, but I'm not completely surprised. And maybe it is the hot water that I'm sitting in
No.
3 times a fucking week in a Russian military base. I don't know where I am, but there's nothing decorative about these things.
Yeah.
And it's really charming. Like, it would never happen here. You would not see Canadian people, men of all ages, to see young men in their late teens and 20s going to a pool and doing something so wholesome with 5 of their buddies. No cat calls, no derogatory comments, no oogling, no fucking weirdness. They're sitting there with their buddies in a hot pool. And it's so hopeful to me to see them doing something that's super chill. There's no beer involved. There's no nothing.
There is a
They're sitting-
big, so in Toronto at least, there's a big, and I think it probably started in LA, but they're taking from the Nordic sort of like the springs, the water circuits, and women have been doing it here. And because there was a Body Blitz spa that's been doing this for a long time, but now because cold plunging is so popular, there's Othership that's like huge. You probably know Jan because Cynthia
goes there.
Yeah. And I have a lot of friends who are huge Othership heads. They go all the time and they love it, and they love the cold plunge. They into the hot pool, into the cold, into the sauna. And one of my close friends has recreated the same circuit at their ski house in Collingwood. So they go outside in the winter and do the same circuit. I've done it. They've had New Year's Eve parties. I've done it. I don't find it to be like, some people really hate the cold plunge. I don't mind it. I've never felt like super different after, but we'll see. But there's a location opening literally at the bottom of my street. And all the people I know who love it, like this one's called it's called Alter. It's like another version of that.
Okay.
And to your point about the guys going, the biggest proponents of this in my life have been straight men who are going there with other straight men. A lot of them don't, some of them don't drink, but they've started on this like wellness journey where they're like working out a lot and they're trying to be more healthy.
They have to.
And they do. Yeah,
Men
exactly.
have to go on a wellness journey.
Yeah. And I was like, I was laughing being like, oh, like the people who were telling me you should try this, we really like it, blah, blah, blah. I was like, you are not the person who I expected to be doing this, because normally you're playing like beer league hockey, but they're really, they're into it. So I don't know. You're right. Maybe there is hope, Jan. Maybe there's hope for us all in the hot springs, so to speak.
I like it.
Well, when we brought up Cynthia just now, Cynthia Loist is also one of the hosts of The Social, and she really does like Othership, and she said it's been life-changing for her.
Wow.
You guys may remember that a few years ago, Cynthia went through a burnout, and it took her a long time to recognize the symptoms of that. It's interesting to bring that up because of kind of the direction that the podcast has taken today, that, we're just talking about the speed in which we live our lives. And then on top of that, we are inundated with a news cycle that we thought was unhinged 2 years ago, that has now escalated to the point where it really is a breaking point for so many people, both emotionally, politically, our humanitarian, our humanness, and how we view each other is in question every second of the day. It's scary. So What can you do? What can you do when you feel like this is so hopeless? You can slow down.
Mm-hmm.
You must look after yourself, because collectively, if you have a million people that make that choice to do other shit, to go do hot yoga, to take a meditation class, those things I think collectively are really going to be a huge part of the hope that we have as a society going forward. We have to find something. And Caitlin, you make such a good point of straight cis males or whatever. Maybe the gay community, gay men have been doing that for a lot longer, whether it's
Yes.
bathhouses. Say what you will about them. I'm not going into the, the morality of any of that. But, maybe gay men have been on that train for a lot longer than straight guys
Yeah. I
to
mean,
go
my
and hang out and
I think it
be with
depends where you
like-minded.
are. Like, I find the culture in BC, for example, like, men and women have been doing the hot springs in BC like forever, like
Mhm.
Radium Hot
Mm-hmm.
Springs. It's like such
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been there a few times and at different like stages of my life. And yeah, I find that I imagine it's like that in Iceland as well, right? Like some places you just come up doing those things and grow up that way. It really depends. But getting in nature, such a big part of it. Talking about calming yourself down though, so I was having like a really bad reaction to all the Advil I was taking and the antibiotics, and like I felt so nauseous but also like just so not right when I had gone back to emerge.
Yeah.
And I had been practicing meditation as to the best I can over the last
Mhm.
like 2 months, a little more consistently than I would say I have before. And so I found myself sitting in emerge like waiting to get triaged, and I'm like, okay, 1,000, right? Like I just was counting and it actually helped so much. I thought I was going to take off and be out of my body. It was so helpful.
Counting is helpful.
Yeah.
And Thordis is an instructor in, she does hypnotherapy. She also does something
She
called havening.
does? Oh.
Yep. She's a licensed, she took me, actually, I got to see her office this trip. She goes, do you want to see where I actually do a lot of work? So it's not just, being an author and a speaker and a lecturer and about gender-based violence and all that stuff, but she does havening and she helps a lot of people with agoraphobia and,
Really?
it's the stuff that she does. So I think she's trying not to overwhelm me and just slowly take me into the fold of what kind of work she actually does. But you talk about counting, and it's a tapping thing.
Oh,
Mhm.
Like
yeah.
havening is a very tactile, and there's
Yeah.
a real art to it. And you can literally also regulate your immune system. And they've been using it in Rwanda and places where there's been
Yeah.
ethnic
Horrible things.
cleansing, and where
Yeah.
young people are witnessing horrendous things, and they're going in and they don't exactly know why that this tapping stuff works, but they're using it for millions of people,
Mhm.
like counting and finding that place to just
Yeah.
let your brain grab on. There's something about tapping. Your brain can't process critical thought. It
Mhm.
can't go through the process of doing all this stuff. And I'm not
Mhm.
a doctor. I'm not a professional at this. I'm just repeating what Thor has told me.
Yeah.
You can't do that and do this tapping process, which taps your fingers, your arms, your chest, your chin, your
Yeah.
lips. And it's just changing. So, yeah, once again, little things. What can we do to change
Yeah.
the world and to kind of, we have to do something collectively, and that
Yeah.
starts with the individual.
The news cycle, and for everyone knows the same news. We're all living in the same news cycle, so there's no
Yeah.
shortage of horrors that exist the second you open your phone.
Mhm.
And I do think it's that balance that people feel they need to strike between being informed but also taking care of yourself. And I was listening to Ezra Klein's podcast today, as I do very often, and he was really kind of centering in on the importance of realizing that we all have to live together.
Mhm.
Everyone, agree, disagree, whatever, everyone has to live together on this planet. And any conversation right now on social media, the way the algorithms work is designed to boost the engagement of just extreme views on either side and make people think that that's how everyone else out there is thinking. It's designed to make you very, very scared and to feel very, very anxious, and to think that you probably have less in common with someone with opposing views to your own than you do. And
Mm.
also, he pointed out how much violence in the world leads to more violence. It normalizes it. It antes it up, 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 up. Everywhere you go, from conflict to school shootings to, violence in the home, you name it, a more violent world is like not good for anyone. And it just feels so crummy out there. And I really do think that things like havening or things like you said, Sarah, meditation. Certainly, a lot of people have talked about the value of transcendental meditation or Reiki or yoga or whatever it is for you. Everyone really has to like acknowledge that this is a very challenging timeline to live in, and the algorithm is coming for your sanity. So
Yeah.
if you want to coexist with your neighbors in any functioning way, like you got to just go, okay, like find a way to like take a deep breath and sort of regulate your emotions a little bit better than maybe you are because of the phone.
I'm so glad to see that episode is an hour and 55 minutes. I'm going to listen to it later today because all I do is lie down.
Yeah.
Well, and for those of you listening that think, oh, that's a bit too esoteric for me or a bit too new age, and I'm not a meditation person, listen, there's things in your everyday life that mirror all of those things. And it's as simple as the ritual of stopping at 11 o'clock in the morning to make a cup of tea, to put the kettle on, to grab your favorite mug. I have a favorite spoon.
What?
That sounds really little, but I always wash it. I do. I have a favorite spoon.
I love
And
that.
I think, we make kind of fun of little things like that, but I'm telling you, it is the minutia. It's these micro happinesses
Yes.
that really somehow they collaborate and they speak to each other. And I have a favorite mug too. And if I have that spoon in the mug, I feel better. If I don't have my mug, I'm like, I'm going to take it out of the dishwasher and I'm going to wash it. Anyway, I'm going into a whole other realm here. But yeah, so you don't have to go to Pilates. You don't have to hop in your car and go to other ship.
No.
The ritual of home, of stopping and take 35 minutes, take 45 minutes. Find a beam of sunlight in your apartment. I don't care if it's sitting on an unmade bed and propping your pillows up under your arms. Take a second and find kitten videos that you like, or, children having
really
accidents
excited
is
now.
always fun.
Can I tell you my new weird
Go.
video because I like,
Yes.
okay, so just, I will own it. I watch weird things on YouTube to relax, and I do take that time
But this
for
is
myself.
what I mean, micro happinesses.
Yeah. My micro happiness is a new thing I've discovered called, it's a woman named Yvonne Lafleur. And she is this very elegant older woman in New Orleans who runs a boutique down there called Yvonne Lafleur. And she's been around for ages. And she's a category called unintentional ASMR. So she just does videos where she talks about styling women and how to dress for your body type. And she showcases all the merchandise in the store. She has become a viral sensation on TikTok and all over social media because of how calming and soothing she is, and because of her kind of old world attitude to elegance and fashion, and people longing for that sort of like motherly presence, I suppose, grandmotherly presence, however that shows up for you. Like, it's so relaxing to watch her just guide you through her case of gloves or talk to you about what kind of hat you might want to wear. Like, it's so therapeutic. And so I'm like, I give myself 20 minutes of Yvonne Lafleur a day right now. I'm loving it. I love it. I want to go to New Orleans to go see her store. And now people on TikTokers are going as like a pilgrimage to New Orleans to go to her store and meet her. And she just loves it. She loves all of her customers, and she has someone younger and like hipper doing her social media. And it's just so cool to see people like discover this really neat store.
Oh.
We are going to put Yvonne Lafleur in the show notes so that you can find her too. Yeah, there's things like that. And there's kind of a trend on social media, in TikTok in particular, of grandmotherly type of support and like old timey sayings. Like, you literally get up with me. And you have a gray haired lady bespeckled putting on her house coat, making a cup of tea, cutting a slice of bread off of a loaf that she made a few days ago, and putting preserves on a piece of toast that she also made last year. That's now the perfect time to open this jar, and the pop of the air seal and her favorite knife. Like, I totally understand why people are gravitating towards that, as opposed to, or at least including that now in their repertoire of people that they're watching. I think it's important, and I think pacing is important, and I think now's the time to do it. Don't put this kind of stuff off. Like, really take time for yourself. Listen, we've been talking 40 minutes, but I'd be remiss if I didn't go to you, Caitlin, and ask you about this. We're completely changing the topic.
Let's do a 180.
Because I'm very curious about Justin Trudeau and Katy Perry. So
Okay.
this is kind of a new thing. Now, I just stumbled across this maybe 10 days ago.
Okay.
And I thought, oh, is this just like a stunt, or did
Mhm.
someone just snap a picture of them somewhere? So walk me through, is this an actual thing? Like, are they getting naked together, or what is happening?
I think they might have seen each other in some nude yoga poses. Like, I think
Okay.
there might be something
Yeah.
going on here. So essentially, they were spotted together on what everyone thought was a date. This was during the summer, and obviously both are single. She's single, he's single. Then he was seen at her concert, and then some people thought, okay, there's actually nothing going on here. Maybe they met to just talk about something for work. Like, who knows? Then the story goes away. Now apparently they're still seeing each other, that they weren't comfortable with the focus on the relationship that happened so quickly, so they pulled away, left the public eye. They're now said to be exploring the relationship out of the public eye. They've decided to be much more private about it, but they're still speaking, still very interested in each other, and that there is apparently a plan to meet up when Katy has a short break between the European leg of her tour and then South America. So everyone's sort of like on the paparazzi hunt to see if they'll be spotted together. But I'm fascinated by this pairing. I just can't. It's like, it's so, to see a former prime minister of Canada dating a pop star, like, it's very unusual.
Well, it's who knows how these things work. Attraction is wildly unpredictable. Wildly unpredictable.
Wildly unpredictable.
And the things that you think you know about yourself. I mean, I'm sure Katy Perry is as surprised as Justin Trudeau is surprised. I'm that they actually like each other, and it's sort of settling into that. You go home after meeting somebody and having a drink or whatever, or a short interaction, and you're just like, do I feel something in my body? And I think it's nice. I think it's nice for both of them.
Think she must be going home and being like, what am I like? This is Justin Trudeau. What the heck? And he must be going home going like, this is Katy Perry. What is going on? Like,
well, Liam Neeson and Pamela Anderson.
Okay, someone told me that was fake. And I wanted to believe it was real. But I don't know. I don't think I'm up to speed on the timeline of this relationship. But there was a whole article in The Cut about how they weren't actually dating. And this was like a PR front because they were promoting their Lethal Weapon movie together. But then she denied it. She said they were really together. So I don't know where that landed. But I loved them together. And I don't think either one of them, even if they were who knows what status, would have been thinking this is the strangest thing ever, like Pamela Anderson and Liam Neeson. But who knows, like whatever stage of life they're at, maybe that makes sense all of a sudden. Yeah. But he is not Tommy Lee.
No, and that's good. That's good that he's not. It really is a good thing. I'm happy for her. She seems to have had that second act in her life that it just seems like she's okay, that she's doing all right, and that the hard stuff is over and her boys are growing up and they seem like really nice guys, her sons. They seem like good kids. They're involved in her television shows. I'm sorry, when someone's making homemade lemonade and cooking biscuits, I'm like, you're out of the darkness now. You've actually embraced something that is calming you, and you're finding your feet, and you're living on the island somewhere and on the West Coast. There's just so many things that we realize sometimes far too late that, oh God, why didn't I do this 20 years ago? But that's not how life works. You get there when you get there. A final note on today's podcast. We lost one of really the last 60-year great actors of our time, and that's Robert Redford. So we're recording this Tuesday, September the 16th. And Robert Redford was 89 years old, and you would have seen him in Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid was a huge movie for him. The Way We Were with Streisand, which is one of the all-time classic, heartbreaking romance stories. And of course, accompanied by Barbra Streisand's one of her biggest songs of all time was just The Way We Were. But Robert Redford, like, he made red hair the sexiest thing ever. I think ginger-colored men everywhere were cheering all through the 60s, 70s, and 80s because of Robert Redford.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, you think about the fact that he was trying to fight against this typecast of his looks for so long. And he was a real advocate for thoughtful filmmaking and cinema because, of course, he launched the Sundance Film Festival. And I was reading through all these quotes about him. And Jane Fonda, who has been with him in movies before, she said every time she was in a movie, she fell in love with him because she said he had just had this aura about him, that he was, kind of mysterious and just this like presence and this pull. And that's just he does come across that way when he's like in all of his films. I loved him so much in All the President's Men, about the Watergate scandal. I just thought he was so good in that. And I just remember, like, it's weird when you hear about someone pass away and he's 89 years old, but like in my mind he's never 89 years old. In my mind he's young forever, and that's the way celebrities work. But I was
the horse whisperer.
Yeah. Oh God, he's so, and he was really just, I mean, not to harp on about his looks, but he was so good looking.
Yeah, and he didn't play to that. Like, he really hated typecasting and that leading man mentality. And I think, anyways, it's sad to see those guys go because, as we all know, they don't make them like they used to.
No.
And there's a group of individuals that are definitely in their 80s. Jane Fonda being, the aforementioned Jane is 86 or 87 or something, and it's going to be a huge loss to the world, when she goes. I hope that she's around for another 10 years because she's still so vibrant and she's such an advocate. And, she's out there fist in the air still, provoking the patriarchy and, trying to speak to war and injustice of all kinds.
And we found out that Robert Munsch this week is going to have, he's looking into MAID because he's suffering from dementia. So Robert Munsch, beloved children's author, who I just have spent so many hours of my life reading, and a great Canadian, obviously, that, he said he wants to make this decision while he still can, because he's very aware of how his dementia prognosis is looking. So that also broke this week. And I just was like, you know what? Too many good ones. Like, it's just, I know people are getting older and time passes, but it kind of does my head in. So if you're a Robert Munsch fan like myself, I'm actually reading Robert Munsch to Will, and I'm reading the exact same Robert Munsch books I had as a kid. I found them when I was cleaning out my mom's house, and I saved all of them. So he is literally holding Robert Munsch books that I grew up reading, and there's still stickers in there that I put in, and there's still, like, on the front of the book it says, like, this is, this book belongs to Caitlin or Katy, and it's my handwriting. And he's like, where's this book from? And I say, this is Mummy's when she was a little girl. So that's kind of like the magic and the power of being a children's author, or doing anything in the space of children, is like you can live on through everyone's generations. It's really nice.
Took me to see Robert Munsch at Harbourfront.
Oh, she did?
Yeah. I remember back in the day. Yeah. That was like the only time I remember her coming downtown.
Oh, really? Worth it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it's been a nice conversation today. I didn't expect to I'm sitting looking at a whole bunch of questions in front of me that we never got to, but it often happens when the three of us are together without a guest, and there's lots going on. But yeah, summer's winding down. Once again, it's not going to be of any value. Well, maybe if you hear this on Friday, we're doing a live show on the 19th at the National Music Center. If this is posted in the afternoon, which it often is, you may hear this voice coming at you, and check to see if there's still a seat or two. Come down to the National Music Center if you're in Calgary. Nahad Nenshi is going to be our guest, and there's lots of things to speak to, not only in Alberta, but he's been doing all kinds of consulting all over the world for all these different projects. I don't know if he's allowed to speak about them, but he's an interesting man. He's a smart man. And he's extremely funny. So, and when he was very young, he came to see me somewhere in Boston or something, and I signed the back of his driver's license.
I love that.
So, yeah. And there's a picture of us all looking like we were 14. So it's very cute.
Well, and to our point about, the weird timeline we're living in, what I like about him so much is that he is I think he's a really important type of voice to have right now in the world of politics, because he's hopeful, and he's intelligent, and he's solution oriented. So I think he'll be a fabulous guest.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's a beautiful space. If you've not been to the National Music Center, it's a work of art. And
what's your promo code again? Do you remember your promo code?
I think it's what is it? What's my promo code?
Jan Super Bitch? Is that what it was? Jan SP?
Jan SP. It's
Jan SP.
Sarah's initials, but we're saying Jan Super Bitch.
They just assigned it last minute. I was like, we're recording. If we want to tell people, we're recording in an hour. If we want to tell people to come to the National Music Center and go check out the history in there outside of our show. Sure. And they just threw us this promo code, and I'm like, I didn't ask to be a part of this.
So Jan's like, Super Bitch. Jan Super Bitch, get 10% off. Come on down.
There you go.
Um,
All the
and
info in the
thanks to
show
all,
notes.
come and see us on Patreon because we're going to talk about some stuff on the other side here. We're going to just explore life's intimate details of how we're coping in life. But I do want to talk to the girls about good things that are going on in their lives because there's lots of things to recap about the summer and there's just endless stuff to bring up and talk about. So we're going to try and keep it up with people.
Okay.
Maybe we can talk more about microhappiness. I don't know. We'll see where we go. Thanks for listening. Come and join us on Patreon. Our book of the month is called H is for Hawk. And Helen McDonald wrote that book. We'll be talking about that in the next 3 or 4 weeks. We do a big Zoom call. That is another tier on our Patreon. That's $7, but you have chances to win like Indigo gift cards and talk about the book. And we always have a great time doing those get-togethers for the book club, or $5 a month, which is less than what can you get for $5 these days?
Nothing. $5 is the new $1 with inflation.
$5 is the new $1. They're still talking about a $5 coin, which I'm completely opposed to.
No.
I don't want more coins. Please, who's ever listening at the Canadian Mint, we do not want a $5 coin.
No.
How big are they going to be? As big
It's
as
crazy.
my left nipple? Stop. Just stop right now.
Not the right one.
Anyway, look after yourselves, and thanks for coming along on this crazy journey. I'm always proud of the girls, Caitlin Green, Sarah Burke. I hope Sarah gets better, and hopefully there might be a Christmas miracle. As it stands right now, I don't know if Sarah will be with us at this most important, and I know you were so looking forward to it, Sarah, but let's see how you feel tomorrow.
Yeah.
And but we're going to make the call at some point because Sarah doesn't want to give us the plague either. She doesn't want to give me and Caitlin shingles.
No.
I don't need it. I don't need shingles. I love you, Sarah, but I don't need the shingle.
It's 100 days till Christmas as of this point of recording. So a Christmas miracle may yet be upon us, but perhaps not quite right now.
Okay. Well, having said that, we will see you next time. Look after yourselves and toodly-doo.